Hello, and welcome to the Consistent Profits Podcast, brought to you by Inside Out Trading and Brian McAvoy, where the focus is on consistency. Because when you have the consistent part down, profits become easy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Consistent Profits Podcast, brought to you by Brian McAvoy of Inside Out Trading. And today I'm really excited to be talking to Kathy Baldwin, who I just recently made acquaintance of, but she's got an interesting story. So I wanted to talk to her and actually, share this conversation with you. So Kathy, glad to have you here today.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks, Brian.
Cool. One thing I found interesting when we first met was, we were both attendees on a webinar. And when we had a chance to visit a little bit, you said that, you've been, working with traders for a while, but your main thing that you've been doing, or at least what you had online, was the Rise Up coaching site, and where you're doing a lot of energy work. And so if you would, go ahead and tell us just a little bit about your Rise Up coaching site and that, what that's about, that journey. If you could, share just a little bit about that with us. That's kind of cool because it's different in the trading world.
Yes. What I have found is that we carry with us baggage. And we all have baggage, but we also have so much potential within us. And there's been a disconnect between our society of disempowerment versus empowerment. And Rise Up Coaching is designed to teach people how to integrate themselves so that they are fully aligned within their central nervous system, knowing how their brain operates, how to be able to actually steer and drive and program themselves, and get themselves into a place where they're the driver of their own body and their own lives.
How do you wind up, in all that, and setting up the site and helping people with that? How'd that come about?
It's been a progress. I have been a student for about 35 years of not only the stock market, but human development, how the brain works, quantum physics. There's a lot that goes behind it that I've been systematically working on. And I came to a point where I realized that our world is changing, our economics are changing. There are so many opportunities for people. They don't have to hand their investments over to somebody else and just live in the mutual fund world. So what I wanted to do was, when I found that the people I was coaching, money was always a thing that was a weakness in their foundation. And you can't have personal empowerment unless you're standing on solid ground. And as a trader, that I've been trading for 25 years, it just was a no-brainer to put the two of them together and help people understand that if you know yourself and you know how your body works, then we can create a trading plan that is based specifically on you. And then when you enter the market, you have a solid foundation to create financial independence.
Huh, very cool. So you said you've been trading for 25 years. Tell me your story as far as how you got started in trading.
Well, my parents started trading when I was a teenager. It was very small at that time. They would give instructions to their broker. You couldn't just go on and create your own. You weren't that independent, but I was surrounded by magazines on stocks and the stock market and finance and how everything worked. And that was part of our dinner table conversation.
Huh. Okay, so were they stock investors? Because I know, like my parents, they had different like stock investing clubs that they belonged to, but it was mostly they weren't really trading. It was more portfolio management. And so when I discovered trading, I found it was a whole different beast. So as far as trading yourself, so you grew up with that. How'd you wind up actually getting started trading though?
When it became available to us, I was at a personal conference, and Courtney Smith, who is a big hedge fund trader, started trading people. And so that's where I started actually trading instead of the investing part of it. Went through, learned about how to trade, and then it went into Forex and options. And so I've been through quite a few different experts and hedge fund and ex-floor traders that trained me.
Oh, cool. So what are you trading at?
I love options, but I also love the binary part of Forex.
Okay. So are you day trading or swing trading or what?
Swing trading.
Oh, okay.
I do want to get into day trading one day, but you've got to put a lot more attention on it than I'm doing. And right now my focus is helping people figure out how they can become empowered. And
Oh, cool. Well, at what point did you decide to, start helping other traders?
it wasn't so much helping other traders. It's more people who have never been in the stock market, want to enter it, and have no clue about this opportunity. So that is who I'm working with right now and targeting with my introductory course, the Trader Genius. And from there, I'd like to, a lot of traders I know have the sickness that I call where they think they know everything. And to go back and start again at personal knowledge and personal empowerment is a humbling experience.
Sure. Well, trading can be a humbling experience by itself. Yeah.
Yes.
Most everybody who's been at it a while knows that. Yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten bitch slapped a few times.
Huh. Well, so you mentioned, excuse me, you mentioned Trader Genius.
Yes.
When we first met, I asked you, if you had any, if you had a site about your trading, and you said that you have your Rise Up coaching where you talk about like your energy healing and your personal work that you do with people. But you said that you mentioned Trader Genius. So what's going on with that?
Trader Genius is this new program that I've put together. The website is coming. It'll be tradergenius.io, just like Rise Up Coaching is riseupcoaching.io. And that's where I'm going to be bringing this product to market so that people who are thinking about wanting to learn how to trade, I want to start them where I wish I had started 25 years ago, which is the greatest asset and the greatest opponent is right inside ourselves. And if we can get control of that first before we step into the market, that's who I want to reach out and help.
Hmm. Okay. Well, so you said that you're wanting to work with people who are thinking about getting into the stock market. So um, how are you connecting with these people if they're not already like traders, which are a little easier to find? How are you connecting with these people that are thinking about the stock market?
Well, that's where my social media is coming out and explaining to people that it's an option for them. It's not that they have to hand their portfolios over to a investment advisor if they want personal empowerment and they want to step in and take care of it. But the questions that I've received from people were, where do I even start? Who do I trust? What do I know? And that's what this is about, is helping people take that first step, create a little bit of knowledge so that they can decide if they want to continue down the road of learning how to trade, or if they just want to be knowledgeable enough to talk to their investment advisors.
Okay. Huh. So
And the follow-up will be going into that whole personal empowerment and connecting the stock market personality with the trader's personality and creating a full integrated trading plan that takes into account the holistic nature of the whole person and their lives.
right. Okay. Um, so you said your social media presence. So are you just like periodically publishing like tweets or pictures on Instagram or like I said, how
Uh,
actually locating these people that are thinking about something?
Yes, I'm reaching out on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm just starting on TikTok. So I will be a lot more vocal on TikTok.
Okay. Huh. All right. Very cool. Well, so as far as, I mean, what do you envision? So when somebody comes to you and they're thinking about getting into the stock market, they go through your course, what's life going to be like for them afterwards?
Well, they'll have a decision to make. Do they want to learn how to trade? And my goal will be that they start with me first. Part of the energy healing that I do is to release those money blocks, change money ceilings, so that when people start having success, they're not going to self-sabotage and be able to have control over their emotional states, because the emotional part of us can sabotage any good trade.
Gotcha. Huh. So you said energy healing. What kind of energy healing?
I am a certified practitioner of the emotion code and the body code. It is based on the quantum physics that energy, there's no end to it. And I am able to tap into someone's energy, whether it's remote, and we can work on releasing those trapped emotions, which are chemical. All of our emotions are a chemical release from our different glands. And if we don't release those trapped emotions because we suppress them, they get trapped in our body.
Huh.
And just like holding a beach ball underwater, you don't know when or where it's going to pop up or how it's going to affect you. So when we're dealing with money, especially, if I can help people heal those toxic beliefs and energy that's trapped in their body, it's all part of the whole.
Hmm.
I'm creating a whole system that it's integrating everything that I've always done and putting it together for the trader.
Hmm. Okay. Well, you said you tap into somebody's energy. Uh,
Yes.
so you like give them an IV. Or,
No.
so how do you tap into somebody's energy? Or are you like physically tapping on them with a little, reflex?
No. I can do it remotely. Dr. Bradley Nelson was the one who founded this modality. He's done years and years of research and testing. But if you and I were working together, I could, with your permission, connect with your energy and talk to your subconscious and ask it binary questions. And based on the yes, no answer that your subconscious gives, it will direct us to what it wants to release. And then because our central meridian goes all the way through our head down to our spine, you can release it on an energetic level, which there is amazing healings that happen from that. And so I want to use that for traders to be more empowered
Hmm.
rather than just healing.
Huh. So you said this was the emotion code, and what was the other code?
The body code.
The body code.
Yeah.
So when I first saw the energy healing, I was thinking like Reiki or something.
It's very similar, except Reiki, you are physically with the person in their body. This is something I can do Zoom like this. And it's fascinating how when I tap into someone's energy, their unconscious will tell me things that they're shocked
Hmm.
I know or have found out. And it's not me. I'm not psychic. It's your unconscious will say, you know what, this is bothering me. I want to get rid of it.
Right.
And we can clear it.
Huh. So how are you reaching the subconscious? You're going to like put them in a hypnosis, a state of hypnosis?
No. Although I have done work with people who are meditating at the same time, and it's pretty profound. But no, it's just a matter of you and I having a conversation like this and tap into your energy and then ask, like I said, it's a binary question, this, that, and there's a whole system that your unconscious can walk through with the body code. And then we release it with a magnet. I wasn't planning on talking about this right now, so no, I don't have my magnet right here with me right now. But I just use a big thick magnet, run it down my meridian, and with the permission of you, energy is connected. There's no beginning or end. And the same when I've done this work with quantum physics, there's really no beginning or end to our body either. They've proven that the bacteria on our body is exactly the same as the bacteria inside. We just have a visual of disconnect. But energetically,
What are you talking about with the bacteria?
every part of us, what's on the inside is on the outside, and vice versa. We are more fluid and connected than we imagine. We think of ourselves as like a separate being, like a rock or something very disconnected. But energetically, we are fully connected at a cellular level.
Okay.
Because when you go to the base of any cell, it's energy.
Okay. Okay. It just kind of lost me a little bit when you were talking about bacteria inside our body and outside our body. And I'm like,
I've just used that as an example because I was doing some research on gut health and how our gut will communicate to the heart and the heart will communicate to the brain, and how all of those are part of the language that once we know what our body is saying, we can then correct or make decisions. Yes, I want to do this. No, I don't. But our body is very well aware. There was a scientific experiment where somebody's heart reacted to a stimulus that was outside of their sight of vision. The heart connected to the brain, and it was in full alert before it actually entered the person's awareness.
huh.
So, yes,
Well,
yes.
what's wrong with that?
I'm sorry?
What was the circumstance that you're referring to? You said there was something going on outside the room, or whatever it was outside their field of
It was just one of those science experiments to discover. It's part of the Heart Math Institute. They've done so much research.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
what,
Sure.
yeah, so between the heart and our brain, and how Dr. Amen is one of the people that I've studied under about how the brain works and the synapses and how we can rewire and the neuroplasticity that we can create, creating that integration within our body, healing what needs to be healed, and then coming into the market with a full sound trading plan gives an individual retail trader an edge up rather than just learning how to do a covered call or how to do an iron condor. Yes, sorry, my words got lost there for a second.
Huh. Huh.
I know.
So you're tying the energy work to developing a trading plan. Huh.
Like I said, it's a full holistic way of understanding who we are, where our strengths or weaknesses are, what will take us out of the market, healing it, creating a plan for it, and then with the strengths of each individual, creating a trading plan that matches their personal strengths. For example, if somebody is a really fast decision maker, then binary like Forex might be best for them. But it's creating that awareness. I'll give you an example. My strength is when I commit all in. But in trading, that is my weakness, because once I create a trade, I have to be aware that I will stick to a trade naturally because I've committed to it, and even if the market changes. So knowing that about myself, I've created a plan that allows me to see when that happens and not let that natural personality trait ruin my trades.
Hmm. Well, it's cool that you mentioned that. So, I mean, if I hear you correctly, you're saying that one of your natural tendencies is in kind of conflict with trading, where we need to cut our losses short. So how actually are you reconciling that difference? Because in trading, I mean, you know, your natural tendency isn't going away, but there are times when you need to go ahead and get out of a trade. So how do you?
Absolutely. That's why creating the trading plan and the self-awareness and healing those things before you walk into your trading aware of where you are susceptible, where you could be at risk, and then having a plan ahead of time that when this happens, this is how you're aware of it, this is how we deal with it, and matching the trading style to your personality style, also to your lifestyle and your goals.
Hmm, okay.
Most people, most people go in and say, okay, I want to learn how to trade, and they go in straight into technical analysis or fundamental analysis is really for investors. But you start learning how the charts work, and all the different indicators that are out there. But that's outside of ourselves, and we are connected to it, and we become emotionally involved when we trade with our money.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
I
Well,
know
yeah,
it's different.
yeah. No, I'm still trying to. Okay, so you say that you put something in your trading plan so that that's how you reconcile your inherent conflict. But like, I mean, how's that any different from somebody having rules that, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to exit now. But again, of course, you're going to have that in your trading plan, but how do you reconcile the fact that it's in your trading plan, it's telling you to do this, but your natural tendency is to not? I'm kind of coming back
You,
because you kind of answered it, but you kind of didn't. So for
well, it's part of my process. I'm being a little vague on purpose because I do go through a systematic 9-step process that pulls it all together at the end as a full trading plan.
okay, okay, I'll let you slide this time. No, I understand. You know, you don't want to give away your secret sauce, um, but just yeah, like I said, I was just trying to understand because, like I said, it's an inherent conflict there. So you're talking about resolving it, but well, so as far as now, you said that you've got this program put together, um,
Yes.
but and what's the status with your website? You said that's not quite ready to go yet. That's why it's not online. When are we looking at it coming online?
Everything is ready except dotting the I's and crossing the T's with the back end, connecting the URL to the website. So it's very, very imminent.
Oh, so like 20 minutes?
Well, that depends on when the fighter gets it all hooked up.
No, that's one of the reasons that I've gone back and forth between hiring webmasters and doing stuff myself. If I got somebody else doing it, it's like crap. Okay, now I got to wait to get hold of them. And when can I communicate to them? And when can they get to it? And it's like if I do it myself, I'm done in 15 minutes. But
Yes, but
I'm having to do it.
what else could we do with our time? That's not my expertise, and I don't want to be spread that thin.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. Um, No, it's the whole like learning how to build a website and everything. You and I've both been around long enough to know what it was like before the internet. So yeah, it's been an interesting evolution. So
Yes, that's when you had those magazines and journals and you were weeks, if not months behind. And now we can be aware just as something is happening.
well, speaking of energy and interconnectedness, there's a lot over the last few years. It seems like there's a lot of negative energy around the world, a lot of fear, a lot of anger, a lot of division. How do you,
Mhm.
what do you foresee, or how do you see that as far as how it's, those of us in the trading space, um, how do you see those two things kind of interplaying, and particularly with the trend that we seem to be in? We seem to be in kind of a negative trend over the last few years. What do you see ahead for us?
It has to come to a head. My personal belief is that everything is on a pendulum, that it's part of our universal laws. What goes one way has to have an equal counterbalance to it. So I am hoping that this is the far end of that pendulum swing, and we are going to come back to balance. I do believe that we are in a serious paradigm shift. Everything is changing. And I believe that's part of the division that's happening. And that is exactly why I'm creating this Trader Genius program, is so that people in this can get out of that negativity by becoming financially independent and not having to worry about what's happening, how to pay their hospital bills, or how being at the whim of somebody else. When you are financially independent, we have choices and we can make a difference and bring that positive energy to the world.
Hmm. Okay. Well, so you said that you foresee things coming to a head. What does that mean?
I believe that cryptocurrency is part of the breakdown. We've got banks that are failing. We've got economies that are struggling. The world as we know it is changing. And I think that's a good thing, because we came from what I believe is a societal abuse that has happened to men and women and people in general, where we've been disempowered and basically manipulated by lobbyists, big corporate, by knowing the psychology of how our brains and our bodies work. They're using it against us for their profits. Okay. And if I can take that knowledge and teach people how your brain functions and how it can be rewired, then they become empowered instead of being led like sheep, which is what corporations are trying to do, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, so back to the question, when you said things are going to come to a head, what do you mean? Is there going to be like an event that causes the pendulum to swing back the other way, or is it just going to be oh, we've been going this way for a while, all right, we'll kind of just go back the other way? I mean, like I said, you said things coming to a head. Is there going to be kind of do you foresee any kind of a trigger event? You said there's a paradigm shift. Like,
I don't see it as a event, because nothing in our world is an event. Every change has been gradual, and sometimes they have to take generations to happen. I think we're at the beginning of the shift and the change, and maybe our children and grandchildren will be the ones that are reaping the rewards. But we're the ones leading this because we're aware of energy. We're aware of what we bring to the world, and how just one person being able to bring their best to the world makes a huge change. And if we can multiply that by 1% of the population, the ripple effect that is going to happen is going to be able to bring empowerment to the people, where they don't need government to make decisions, because we can be involved. I know I'm getting but you're asking really big questions.
Well, no, like I said, I mean, for some people, yeah, they see an event coming too, as well. Like the second coming of Christ, because a lot of the those in the Christian faith are saying, yeah, all the stuff's well explained in the Bible, and other religions as well, other different thought processes. They say, yeah, we're reaching a point in time where, or even if you just want to look at I'm trying to remember the name of the cycle, but it's like along the astrological cycle where we're getting ready to head into, we're reaching the point where we're transitioning over into the age of Aquarius.
Yes.
So, but no.
And if you connect that thought to economists' plans, like the K-wave theory,
Right.
We are right in line with all of that from every angle, whether you come at it from religion or spiritual or quantum physics or economic patterns. However you look at it, it comes to the same answer. We're changing. We're moving into a new era. We're moving into a new world. I believe the fact that we all have connections to computers, and I believe it was someone in Google who said by 2026, every person will be connected to the world through their phones.
Well,
yeah, so the Jetsons that we used to watch as children, it's happening faster and faster.
oh yeah, yeah. Of course, things are accelerating. There's a lot of different fronts that things have been accelerating. So yeah. Oh,
And I don't believe that there is a better way to create independent wealth than the stock market.
really? The best there is, huh?
And the fact that there's no employees, there's no overhead, it is able to be used by a phone anywhere in the world. It gives people freedom to do other things and still trade if they come at it from the right point of view. If you're going to use it and have those personality traits that turn it into a high stress environment, and that's why I'm starting at the beginning of the person.
Gotcha.
Before we go into trading.
Gotcha. Very cool. So you said your new site is going to be tradergenius.io?
That's correct.
Oh, very cool. Well, I look forward to seeing it when it comes online, and I'm sure everybody that's listening will be curious to go check it out as well. You seem to have a little bit of a different take on approaching approaching trading from the perspective of how the person themselves is approaching it, not just looking at the financial vehicle, an opportunity to make money. Very cool. Huh. So any last words of wisdom? Well, actually, since this is the Consistent Profits podcast, I have to ask, what do you see as like one of the biggest obstacles that most current traders, people who are already trading, what do they have as far as obstacles to the consistent profits?
Themselves. I think their own biases, their own emotional ability to monitor their emotions and ride this incredibly chaotic, volatile time that we're in. Eventually, we're going to get back into a bull market. Bull markets are easy. You throw a dart, it's going up.
Yeah, the old what's this? How's the saying go? A rising tide floats all boats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we can get people to that place where they're strong, then they'll ride the waves just like a surfer does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very cool. Very cool.
But if you're not able to ride the waves, then you're going to get drowned by each individual emotional moment because we beat ourselves up. We have these inherent triggers that emotionally can sabotage us. And if that's happening while you're trading, it's extremely dangerous to a person.
Oh yeah, yeah. Emotional trading, so yeah, it's generally not a suggested thing, of course. So
no, I've seen too many people blow up accounts just because of that.
Yeah. Huh. Very cool. Very cool. Well, again, I look forward to your site coming online and being able to check out your program. Really appreciate you being on today, and everybody that's listening, if you like what she's what she's got to say, and kind of resonates with you, definitely make sure you swing by her site. The link will be in the notes down below. So Kathy, thanks again for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And everybody, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to talking to you on the next episode of the Consistent Profits podcast. Cheers. Thank you for joining us today on the Consistent Profits podcast, brought to you by Inside Out Trading. Make sure to swing by Inside Out Trading and pick up your copy of The Proven Formula for Consistent Monthly Profits. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe on your favorite channel, and we'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.